by Dr. Purushottam. Dr. Purushottam is a naturopath, and we are very, very pleased to have him on board to share with us. And we also have Jyoti Chavla. Jyoti Chavla will be moderating this event, and she will be also asking your questions of Dr. Puru. So if you have any questions, do type them in the comment section, and later we will also have an interactive session. So Jyoti, over to you.
Thank you, Poonam. Thank you. Well, welcome, Dr. Purushottam. Let me give a little introduction about him. Dr. Purushottam has been in Indonesia, Jakarta, for 14 years. He is a chief medical officer with the Indian yoga firm. He's a naturopath and a physician. He's written a book called Detox Yoga, detox and slimming specialist. He even handles natural, in a naturopathy system, kidney cure for stones and other renal issues. And he can cure diabetes and hypertension with all naturopathy and yoga stuff. So that's a lot of stuff you do. And I'm surprised.
More than that.
Yes, I'm sure more than that. And I'm surprised to hear you've been there like 14 years, and that's a long time. And how come, Poonam, you didn't discover him till now? So better late than never. So here you are, and very interesting topic called intermittent fasting. We've had this conversation earlier with Geeta, and there were lots of questions and a lot of people. So actually bringing in a newer perspective also to say what is naturopathy way of doing intermittent fasting. So without further delay, I'm going to ask you straight away, what do you think is intermittent, and what is intermittent fasting according to you?
Yeah, so before answering your question, I'd like to thank Mrs. Poonam and also Ms. Jyoti Shavla for arranging this opportunity, giving me this opportunity to talk with my Indo-Indian group because I've been longing to meet our community. Because as you mentioned, I'm here 14 years in Jakarta only, and I never had an opportunity to meet you all.
Yeah.
In one common platform. So happy to meet you all. Thanks for everybody joining this, for registering this event. And now to answer your question, Ms. Jyoti. So intermittent it's a very famous topic, very popular topic nowadays, because everybody is aware about the weight loss and they want to do it very easily. Because they don't want to go for a very long fasting. They want to have easy fasting.
Yes.
So according to their own lifestyle, in that way, intermittent fasting is like you are a beginner, you want to start something, not a very serious program. So it is in between a serious program and a beginner's program. So it is intermittent way of doing a fasting very easily, and you can achieve the goal of weight loss.
Yes, spot on. Also, another thing is, what are the different kinds? See, you're absolutely spot on. People don't want to make that effort of the gym and exercising, watching food and keeping gaps. That's what me as a layperson, and a lot of us know that. However, what are the different kinds of intermittent fasting?
To answer your question, I have some slides to share. Is it okay if
Sure, please.
Yeah, so I'll go with the agenda and also do the share.
Yeah, Smita knows you very well. She says you were her yoga teacher for 5 years.
Yeah.
She was in Jakarta. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing, Smita.
Hi, Smita. So welcome for today's topic. So my profile is known to you as explained clearly by Mr. Jyoti. So I don't want to explain more about that. So for today's aim, so how many of you want to get slimmer today? No, at least in a week or two. So our objective is to make you look slim in another 2 weeks. Let's say, at least you'll have a plan of intermittent fasting plan, a clear roadmap, what to do, how to do, when to do by the end of this webinar. Okay, that's the goal. And for agenda, to achieve that objective, so we'll discuss about what are the common types of intermittent fasting, and how to start an intermittent fasting, how you can do the intermittent fasting for weight loss, and also what happens, the science behind the intermittent fasting, and what to eat during the intermittent fasting. So these are the topics, the main relevant topics that we're going to deal in this session. And so to answer your question now, Ms. Jyoti, So there are 6 ways to do this intermittent fasting. So there is a 16/8 and the 55/2 method, eat, stop, eat method, alternative day fasting method, the warrior diet, and also spontaneous meal skipping diet. I like to ask you, have anybody heard about these topics before?
I can't speak for everybody, but generally what I've heard is 16/8.
That's the common. That's
the
exactly.
most common one that you hear.
Exactly.
I haven't heard the others, at least.
That's you're correct, and we'll deal with that 16/8 in detail because that sounds very common. So I will elaborate on that part in detail in this session.
Okay, sure.
So without any further delay, let's go from the beginner version, because as I mentioned, like you haven't done any fasting before. So I'll start your journey of fasting from what you're doing already. Okay. We usually naturally skip some meals, like we don't have time, we are very busy in Jakarta, we are busy here in our like the city life, the metropolitan life. So we skip spontaneously our meals. Like, how many of you done that?
Most of us do it.
So that means you're already intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
So that is a common type. That's the beginner's level of intermittent fasting. That's the beginner's version, meaning without our hour that you're already doing fasting for a certain amount of period.
Yes.
So a voluntary abstinence of any kind of food and drink is fasting. So in order to define a fasting, voluntary abstinence of food, any sort of food and drink for a certain period of time is fasting. And this intermittent fasting is, say, you skip either a dinner, randomly you skip your breakfast. That means you're in number 1, the method number 1, spontaneous skipping. So now the number 2 is slightly about that. So where we usually do this, especially Indians, like we do this somvar. Are you doing that, somvar?
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people do that, fasting twice a week for different reasons, under the pretext of
And Arsha Shah is already answering that. I got you, Arsha. So we do that often, right? So like we do for various purpose, like say you name it, religious purpose, or you name it any spiritual purpose, we do that. So twice a week we do, like say at least we skip for one particular time, right? And we eat less calories. That means you're not eating for 2 days, or like say you're reducing the kilocalories by 500 kilocalories on 2 particular days in a week, and other days you eat normally. So that is 5/2.
By 500 calories, or you eat only 500 calories?
You eat only 500 kilocalories.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is 5/2 method.
Okay.
And alternate day fasting method is like we eat only 500 kilocalories, or we don't eat at all for every alternative days. Wow. So there's red days on your screen is where you skip the meal on the day completely, or you're reducing the kilocalories by 500 kilocalories a day.
So 3 days in a week you eat only 500 calories, and the
rest other days
you eat normally.
Yes.
This seems a little difficult, yeah, Dr. Puru?
Yes, that's why I say, like, you start from the beginner version, like the spontaneous meal skipping, and you come closely, like you reduce the kilocalories on 5/2, and then you go to slightly harder. Now the program is getting harder, as rightly mentioned by Mrs. Poonam. So this is slightly harder for the beginners.
Yes.
And now comes, so if you feel this is very hard, now this will be the alternative method, which is on your screen now, which is eat, stop, eat method, which means you're fasting on 2 particular days, complete fasting, not even 500 kilocalories. You choose any day, either it is Monday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Friday, and you choose on that day no eating at all.
So it is no eating. Is it like the, the Ramadan puasa that you don't eat from 6 to 6?
Exactly.
5 to 6, whatever, or is it 24 hours?
24 hours. This will be 24 hours. Exactly like Ramadan fasting, but it is that one we do the Ramadan is from 6 to 6. Now
Correct.
this is from 6 a.m. to the next day 6 a.m.
Wow, that's a long one.
So, but you can have liquids. You can have water, tea.
Yeah, for sure. I'll come to the
not,
what to eat and what to drink during the fasting later in the later stage.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So now the famous 16/8 method.
yes, this is the most popular one.
Yeah, everybody like to know about this. So
I guess it's more doable for most of the people, rather the other ones a little more stretchful. This is more doable for a lot of people.
this 16/8.
Yes, because the others are literally 500 calories or literally alternate days or 24-hour. That sounds at least more difficult than this one.
Actually 16/8 is doable for certain, especially in Jakarta, this is doable.
Yes.
Because why? We live in the metropolitan, we usually, let's say, persons sleep late night 12 p.m. and they wake up at 8 or 10. For them, this lifestyle is easier.
Yes.
Because they skip the breakfast naturally. They start eating the first meal by 11 a.m. They wake up at 10. They wake up at 10 a.m. and they eat the first meal at 11 a.m. And if they finish, they could wrap up by 7 p.m. by any chance. That means you are already there in the 16/8 method.
Yeah.
I guess many persons, I know personally, many persons in the metropolitan life is they are majorly skipping the breakfast because they wake up at 8 or 9. So they wake up 8 or 9 and they go for gym. From 9 to 11 is the gym time, and then the 11 a.m. is the first breakfast, meaning the first meal. So, and they sleep say around 12, but they finish, if they could cut their dinner by 7, if they could wrap up the last meal by 7 p.m., you're already there. So this is the common one, and the more advanced, the most advanced is now this one, the warrior method. So the warrior method, so warrior method is like, as you know, this is the diet only for the warriors, meaning, like the war field, they don't have time to eat. So from morning till evening, they only do the fighting, like they fight with the near countries, the near borders. So they have morning breakfast, only a small vegetables and the other salads, only few calories. And then they fight the whole day. And then at the last end of the day, like say around at the finishing of the war, they come back to the barricades and they eat at 4 p.m.
This also sounds like the OMAD, one meal a day.
Yes.
Yes. So and that time they feast, they break the fast with feasting, like they have a very huge meal, because they need energy for the next day to fight. So that's why this is called as warrior method. And then they start again the fasting again. So this is the advanced method, meaning you will eat only for 4 hours. It's like the window period is more it's coming very short in this time. The warrior method, that's the advanced one, and not practical, because it is only for the warriors, not for the metropolitans. Okay, so about the methods, are we clear? Yeah, we have 6 methods.
Sounds all right. Yes, I think we can proceed.
Yeah, from the basics till the basic method till the advanced method, it's all clear. Yeah.
Yes.
So now let's start, like how to start intermittent fasting, from where, because every long journey has to begin with one single step. So from where we must start the intermittent fasting, from where?
Can I ask a question, doctor?
Yeah, please.
How do you identify that which method is good for which personality or which person? Or is it a personal choice?
It is actually towards the goal and personality.
Okay. For instance, somebody wants to lose, let's say a realistic 15 kilos.
In?
Well, I don't know because as a doctor, what would you recommend is the right way? Because sometimes people say the faster you lose, the faster you gain back. The slower you lose, the slower it comes back. Or it's the maintenance is easier when it's a slower process because you're not giving a shock to the body. So how do you identify that which method is good for which person? Is there a technique to it, or is it really, I mean, if I want to lose 15 kilos in 1 month, you'll put me on a difficult one and that's about it? Is it like that, or is it there's a technique to it?
There's a technique. We need to know your goal, because some persons really do need that drastic, because maybe they are nearby the marriage, so they have to get into the bridal suit or the dress. So that means they need it, right? So it depends upon their goal actually, and their lifestyle. Meaning like say I'm a typical person who like to wake up at 10 a.m. If a person likes to wake up at 10, that means they need it different types, different diet. That if I give a normal diet, that person may not be suitable.
Yes.
So it depends upon the personality, and more important is the goal.
Yes.
If I agree with you by one point, say like it has to go slow adaptation to have a very long sustainable weight loss, I agree with you. But if the goal, if they give me a goal, I want to lose weight in very short duration, and I will do anything for you, then it's a different situation.
Yes, I understand those limitations. When people come, you're right, somebody's getting married, they want to fit into their outfits, look nice for the pictures. It's a really short time, and
yeah, and they really come in short time.
As a doctor, you advise let it go slow.
Yeah, naturally.
Okay.
Naturally, I agree with you. It has to be very slow process. Like on an average, say if it's for normal, you have to lose 0.5 kilo per week. That's advisable.
Okay.
On an average.
Great. That answers a few questions.
Yes. So let's say, like, first of all, we need to know what is our goal.
Yes.
As we are discussing, yeah. Why do you want fasting?
Sorry, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Did you say 5 kilos a week?
No, 0.5 kilo.
That's why I was so shocked.
Half a kilo a week is the ideal weight to lose as per him. And in fact, that's what you read in most of the cases. Half a kilo per week is advised.
Yes. 5 kilos.
Yes.
Yeah, I was so shocked.
As somebody may come with that little goal also for that 1 week, they need to, probably there are people who do that.
Yeah.
But
Doctor,
half kilo.
Whatever you have said, I have tried all that. 20 hours fasting, 16. I started with 16 hours, then I did up to 20 hours, then I did 24 hours. But I don't think I have lost any weight. Because during that one meal, we tend to eat so much, everything and anything we get during that one meal that you eat, you see. So then we don't get to lose weight. So that's why I said, let me find out what's the key to lose weight.
Yeah. No worries. For your question, my friend will answer.
Yes. We'll come to all the questions, Rita, as we go along, because it'll just be easier. Just keep your questions ready or put it on the chat and we'll pick it up in the end.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Keep holding on that, Miss Rita. I will answer you for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go with the general version, and first, for case by case, we'll deal that after Miss Jyoti will lead that later.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we want to know, why do you want to start fasting, or any intermittent fasting, anything? Like, we want to know what is good, and then you must choose which method suits you very much.
Correct.
Say, as you said, everybody know about the 16/8 method, which is very common. So we will choose that 16/8, or we need to know, is it like say 20 hours of fasting, the warrior method? We need to know what you need to choose your method. Like as Miss Jyoti was asking, which method do you think will suit your lifestyle and your goal? So these two things will decide from where you can start.
Right. If I am not an early riser, I can definitely do my day starting at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So then we need to figure out the calorie needs. Like Miss Rita was asking me, like, and that one particular meal, I fill out everything. That means we need to know what is our basal metabolic rate, because every person's basal metabolic rate is different, right? I think you understand the basal metabolic rate, or I'll define for those who don't understand. Basal metabolic rate is what is the energy required for your body to function at rest. I just lie down and I need some energy, few energy for my lungs to work, for my heart to work, for my brain to work, because they need, all these organs need energies to work, to function properly. Well, and it depends upon the height, it depends upon the body size, it depends upon, because we need all over the body to pump the energy, right?
Correct.
So it differs from every person to person. So you need to know how much of kilocalories you need from basal metabolic rate plus your lifestyle.
Yes.
Say your lifestyle is very, you're a gym goer, you're a very hard worker. That means you need a different kilocalorie. Like say in other case, I eat a lot, I just sleep, I don't have anything to do. That means you need a different, according to your lifestyle, you're a sedentary worker. That means you need a different kilocalories. Like you have to calculate it on individual basis.
Correct.
And also we need to figure out which meal plan will suit you. Later I will explain in the food pyramid, like what is very basic, very basic, that suits for the common persons, and then advanced one, which will surely get into the weight loss for sure, but it is advanced.
Okay.
And also we need to count the kilocalories, like say, and approximately during the fasting time, meaning the kilocalories, not regular one. During fasting, we need to know how much intake we take at the large meal is, the number is 1,800 kilocalories. You can see here the number, the magic number is 1,800 kilocalories.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the key number. You need to mention it.
Yes.
So let's
so Dr. Puru, before can I interrupt? When you say 1,800 kilocalories is what you should have in a day if you're doing intermittent fasting, so can you give us like a ballpark, what would that translate as an Indian vegetarian meal?
Later, it's coming.
Sure.
It's coming, everything is coming. All your questions will be answered.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. So, like the dividing the time is 16/8. So this is, we eat for 8 hours and we fast for 16 hours. So that's how the time is divided. And like what to eat during that fasting time, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. say is our fasting time.
Yes.
We can drink black coffee and we can drink water. It is basically, we prefer water. If we, as a naturopath, I suggest you to drink plain water drinking. If not, green tea or black coffee during fasting time, which is having 0 calories. Yeah, not high calorie, 0 calories.
And if somebody wants to put a sweetener in the, like a,
that comes calorical. We'll have kilocalorie counts in that.
Yeah, but a natural sweetener like stevia or,
Still it has the sweet and it will give you some energy. Even at least say one or two, it will disturb your metabolism.
Okay.
The basic idea of having the fasting window is to make your fat loose from all these fat stores during the fasting time. Okay. If you have a natural sweetener, honey, stevia, or you name it, anything that is available in the market, that will disturb the metabolism, not to lose this hard fat that's stored.
Okay. So just no sugar in any form.
No. Oh, if we have to drink 0 calories, water. Okay. The water and the black coffees is fine if you are a coffee addictor, but if you could drink only plain water, I suggest you go plain water drinking. And also, like to in this the fasting, the eating period, he can have 2 large meal. Say at 11 a.m. 1 large meal and 7 p.m. 1 large meal, and the snacks in between. So that's the normal advisable fasting for 16 by 8.
Here looks like very heavy calories, like pancakes and some gorengan.
Yeah. This is that's why I say this is a beginner's version of entering to make them easy cakewalk.
So this, you're not watching the calories in this. You're just watching the hours that you eat.
Yes. Just to have a 24 hours plan, how we basically divide the time.
Okay.
So the time 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. fasting time, and from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. eating time, and from 7 p.m. to the next day 7 a.m. is another fasting window.
Okay.
Yeah, we are clear with the timing. So now same 16 by 8 common method.
Okay.
Basically, it's drinking the water, and also the other times, like if we choose this diet, this will be like previous one is suitable for the beginner. So this diet which I'm showing now is because that one has pancake for the snacks. This one will have the sandwich and the apple.
Okay.
And also the other next day, say you will have hot dogs.
Yeah.
So the for the vegetarians, I'll come later. Yeah, wait. So next question is, say I'm a typical person who like to skip breakfast. Then this is your meal plan. Say you start your first meal at 1 p.m. and you finish at 9 p.m. I'm a typical person who like to skip lunch, which means meaning if you're not a day worker, meaning you will start eating by 11 p.m. and you will end up by 7 a.m. because somebody will have they have to work only during night times, the night shift persons. So for them, they will skip the lunch. So which means they will eat at 11 p.m. start eating 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. like it's like the Ramadan fasting now.
Yes.
This one is almost like similar to Ramadan fasting.
So you can actually adapt the plan to any
Any
kind of work schedule or your lifestyle.
Yes. Because we can't force the body to change all of sudden to change to this. This is your time. You have to eat only from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come on, do it. Nobody will do it.
Yeah, correct.
Because it doesn't suit me, so it doesn't suit their lifestyle. Me, I'm a typical person who I'm a morning worker. So I like to wake up earlier. I like to have my breakfast, and even if I stop by 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. is good for me. I'm following that every day. Every single day I wake up, I start eating at 6 p.m. and I finish by 1 or 2 p.m. That's my day, me, even today.
6 a.m. to 2 p.m. is what you eat.
Yes, till today.
And you stop at 2 p.m.
1 p.m. to 2 p.m. is the max.
Okay. Wow.
And after that, yeah, I don't eat any food. I just drink only water. That's the only till the next 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
So I have to wait for that 6 a.m. Come on. Yes, and now I open up. It's almost like the Ramadan fasting.
Dr. Puru, there are a couple of questions related to what we are speaking right now. There is one which says, can we have homeopathic medicines when we are fasting? Because if you're on homeopathic medicines, it has like 4 times a day and you're fasting in that window, but because there are sweet pills.
Yeah. Because this is a person's personal problem, and I don't know what is their disease and for what the doctor has prescribed. If any disease and a doctor has prescribed, and you have to consult with that particular doctor who has prescribed, and with their consultation you have to stop or do the fasting, because every diet program or exercise program is to be done along with the disclaimer with the consultation of the physician.
Okay. No, but if the doctor says please do take it 4 times, then those little 4 pills, that much sugar is okay, or does it really change that impact on your metabolic system?
That's what I don't know now. For what is the drug prescribed? I don't know what is the disease. Like If suddenly they ask, this drug has sweet, can I take it during fasting? I don't know what is the disease condition. I must know what is the disease condition and a lot of things to be discussed. So you can ask them to consult with that doctor who has prescribed the medicine.
Okay. All right.
Because we don't want to take risk on us by saying this is having sugar, don't you stop it during fasting. It will be wrong. Because without knowing the disease or without knowing the type of the why doctor, because doctor has prescribed means that has some reason, right? So we ask them to consult with that doctor. That doctor knows the intermittent fasting.
Okay.
So on general platform, we cannot answer that person's question, like because of the homeopathy medicine. Yeah, but otherwise weight loss general questions I'll answer by case.
Okay.
The second question.
Somebody wanted notes on this. So this program is all going to be on the internet and it's going to be there forever. So you won't need to take down any notes. And just to let everybody know, Dr. Purushothaman is working with Celebrity Fitness, and post this program, whoever wants to get in touch with him, more than welcome to do that.
Yes, almost.
Somebody wants to know about 12 by 12 fasting, but I guess we'll come to this a little later as we proceed.
Sure. So 16 by 8, as we mentioned, like now this is the one we mentioned earlier, the 1800 kilocalories. So this is going to be Indian diet, the vegetarian. So Mrs. Poonam, this is the Indian vegetarian diet.
Right.
So we'll have coffees or black coffees or green teas, and meaning 0 calories. Yeah, and in between is only about salads and all like the bland diet. If you're very serious in that, we can count down the calories to be only with having these green leafy vegetables a lot. And I'll give you the food pyramid later. And that, if you choose the advanced method, will be very suitable for the Indian style of vegetarian diet.
Right.
So that will be working for us. And of course, the plan, the weekly meal plan. This is the weekly meal plan. So because till now we are talking about a day, like how to divide the 7. We wake up at say 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. we don't eat. So 11 a.m. is an average time till 11 to 7 is our meal time. And then, so that's how we in a day, we follow in a day. How to do it on a weekly basis. Per week, what is the plan? So this is going to be a weekly plan. Say on a typical day, as we have been discussing with various lifestyles, like for Indians, vegetarian diet. So I put here with a lot of chicken breast and also the fish. You can change according to your lifestyle. You can change it, like say if you're having a chicken or salmon. For Indians, we can convert that into pulses. We have tur dal, we have chana dal, we have the chole, we have all this groundnuts. This will give us protein, basic, very natural protein that will keep our energy stronger. That makes us to go almost similar to the non-vegetarians, to meet with the non-vegetarian need of protein. And also we have soya.
Yes, as I see here, you've not given any portion sizes for somebody to understand what is the right portion size, rather than keep counting calories and weighing everything. What is the portion size of meal?
Portion size of meal, let's say I will answer your question generally.
For example, dinner sauteed chicken breast with green beans. Now, what is the size of chicken? Is it the fist size, or is it half of that? How much of the veggies? Like just an approximation of portion size, because that also matters. That makes the calories go up or down.
Yeah, I put here as a like the international plate. When you go to international cuisine in a hotel, you ask for a chicken breast, they will give you only one piece of a chicken breast with some side dishes or like say some salads. So that's the portion. Like we usually say rice, right? But rice is only 1 or 1.5 serving in the spatula that we take. It's only 1 or 1.5 serving. To the international standards of cuisine, like they will give you only this amount. So that's the portion standard.
Okay.
Yeah. And so another weekly plan, a very simple plan. Say same 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. The 7 p.m. dinner, the like a person will wake 7, sleep by 9. This will suit for them. So a typical day will start at 7. They will drink some lemon water, or say lemon water, yeah, not the honey or sweeteners, and also black coffee. And they can skip the breakfast, eat spicy chicken with a sauce, with a peanut sauce, and they can have a avocado toast.
Yes.
And also they have for the snacks they can take cashew nuts, and they can evening for 7 p.m. dinner they can go for a Thai coconut turkey chicken or whatever like their favorites. It can be basic.
Sorry.
Yeah, please.
This is a very international meal plan.
Okay.
It's more towards, yes, a lot of Indians do enjoy it. However, we do have a massive audience which is vegetarian. In fact, now even in the international audience, we have a lot of people who prefer to be vegetarian. So it's a great plan for non-vegetarians. Do you have something for pure vegetarian people?
Say,
no meat, no eggs,
yeah.
no chicken,
Okay.
no fish.
No worries. So a typical day for a vegetarian, you can have morning, say 7 a.m. we can go only with the water.
Yes.
Okay. And say 8 a.m. of course you're going to skip the breakfast. 11 a.m. 11 a.m. is because that's the first meal. Let's have very like chana dal, chana masala. Okay, and then we can have rice. Of course, rice is allowed during this intermittent fasting. If you want to have an option, you instead of the white rice, you can go for the red rice, beras merah.
Yeah.
Okay, and the whole grains will be another good option. Whatever the grains which is having a whole grains will be good option. Of course, be watchful about the serving. The serving should be 1 or 1.5 spoon. So that's according to international standards. And also we can have a sambar, or we can have dal, and of course we can have buttermilk, because we got used to this dal with ghee and also with the jeeras, typical Indian style.
Correct. But that's what most of the audience that we have who watches this show is looking forward to. A proper Indian plan,
Sure.
vegetarian plan.
Yes.
I'm
I'm Indian. I'm Indian.
Absolutely. So if I may ask you, what is your meal plan per day from 6 to 2? What do you eat? Are you a vegetarian?
Thank you. Converted non-vegetarian.
Okay. So if you were a vegetarian, what would be you eating in the whole 8 hours?
So that's the funny story how I've been converted to non-vegetarian, because in India I was a vegetarian. I'm following vegetarian since I'm a naturopath. One day I gone to a restaurant here. No, that's my initial period of my Jakarta life. I gone to a local vegetarian. I took a veggie because I go to the shop very regularly. I eat that. Like I pick up and I eat. And once I want to pay to the cashier, he cost me say 50,000. I say, why only? It's no, it's brinjal. It's basically eggplant. Eggplant doesn't cost 50,000, do you? And usually it costs 20,000 for the eggplant on those days. So this person say, what you ate is not eggplant, it is octopus. What? Octopus?
You couldn't tell the difference.
I enjoyed it. Then typical Indian boy that my earlier area, I called my mama, I accidentally by mistake I ate this. I couldn't find the vegetarian diet, proper pure vegetarian diet. I was struggling. You couldn't believe it. I was struggling to know what is vegetarian, because even in the oil they print with the udang. What is that? Prawn. And everywhere I am udang, sapri. I was terribly terrified with this, even looking at the oil. So that was my first script by learning Indonesian language. Saya seorang dari Indonesia. Sorry, dari India. Saya tidak mau pakai daging ayam, sayur, ikan. Saya mau hanya pakai sayur-sayur saja. That was my first script. I've got it from my local staffs. Everywhere I go to the restaurants, I will show this. And they will say, no, we don't have such things.
Yes, because even as a garnish, they'll just put, or even there's terasi in every sambal. So you're right.
Everywhere, every single place, I'll show this. You know what? The answer is, tidak ada, tidak ada. Then I get so much frustrated. You don't believe it. I was so frustrated. And then at last I could find some, the Padang restaurant. Yeah.
Yes.
Padang restaurant, they will give you, we can take the rice in there. Okay. So we go to the shop, we take one, and like the green veggies, the daun singkong. Daun singkong is the only thing I'm very dared to take it in that Padang restaurant. And there will be one curry. No, that curry is sayur nangka.
Yeah, jackfruit.
The jackfruit.
And they make it very well.
Very well. Only these two things I took for one complete month. Only this thing. Not even the cutlet, the potato cutlet they make, percadel.
Yeah, no.
Not even that, because when I asked, it is coated with egg. I don't want to take it.
Yeah. So chapchai and nangka is the only two things you
Only two things. And I've been following that for one complete. And then I moved to this shop, which we are talking. And then I found this octopus. And that is the breaking
no
point.
choice that you converted.
So that's why I say I'm a converted vegetarian, non-vegetarian. I mean, like forced. I don't like I'm a bachelor on that day. I couldn't find I don't even know the Bombay, the Bombay Mart or the say Sri Murugan, the shops or any other, no contacts at all. Like no WhatsApp on those days.
Yes.
Even to meet an Indian, it's very difficult to get to know what is available. And then later I found one, the delivery, Indian gourmet delivery. You know what? I will get a very sorry buttermilk that was prepared 4 days ago. They will send it for me for today's dinner. There will be only water. I can see only watery buttermilk.
You actually ended up doing intermittent fasting out of no choice. Okay.
Exactly.
So if we have to move to, since you've discussed the 16/8 plan, and if we want to say what happens to a human, what happens to your body when you're fasting?
Exactly. So that's
how does it work?
Yeah. So let's go to that. Yeah. So wow. So in 21 days, this will be the result.
Wow.
Anybody wants to do that? I'll show you the how. So we start by 12 hours of fasting, like 12 by 12, since everybody was asking about 12 hours of fasting, 12 hours of not eating.
Yes.
So that's the better way to start, from where our body will not get disturbed, meaning our body will slowly get adapted to this fasting. And from there, we move to the day 4, 14 hours, day 3, 14 hours, and then 15 hours, meaning like, you understand, right?
You're adding an hour every day.
Yeah, we reduce the we reduce the fasting, we increase the fasting period, and the eating window will be slowly reducing it. Yes. Until we reach this 24 hours of fasting. So that's the plan. So what happens to your body now? So that's the question.
Yeah.
So what happens to your body is like this. Intermittent fasting, it increases the human growth hormone. And also it lowers our insulin, because insulin, if you take a very sweet, high rich carbohydrate diet, you know what the insulin job, whenever it sees the sugary rich food in the bloodstream, it will push the extra sugar that we don't require, because we need basically just few calories for our life. The other sugars will be pushed into the muscle in the form of glycogen, or in the liver. So only two ways it can get stored: muscle, and in the liver it gets stored as glycogen, the fat. So this insulin does this job. The job of insulin is to regulate our blood sugar. I guess everybody know about that.
Yes.
So once you take a very high, rich, sugary diet, if it goes into the bloodstream, so this insulin will come. Okay, these are all extra sugar. This has to be pushed to the muscle, and you find jingle bells here and also here. So jingle bells everywhere goes and gets stored as fat. That's how we get fat. So what happens? Intermittent fasting, it lowers the insulin, meaning whatever the extra fat that is in the bloodstream also get the storage. It will come out, and the body gets entered into the fat burning mode. So by thus we'll have weight loss. So also I have this slide. Now for regarding the weight loss or the food intake or the satiety symptom, we have three basic hormones that work with this: leptin, ghrelin, and insulin. Ghrelin and leptin are opposite hormones. So if we feel hungry, it is because of ghrelin. If we feel stomach full, that is because of leptin. When we eat, say, about 4 to 5 breads, and after that we feel okay, I'm done, bus. It is because of the leptin. No, I'm hungry, I need to eat something. It is because of ghrelin. So what happens during the fasting? Fasting helps us to balance this hormone, the shift, the ghrelin, leptin, and insulin. It gets balanced because of this intermittent fasting. So at the key take point is, it also increases it lowers the insulin and also increases the human growth hormone, by which weight loss happens. So that's how the science of intermittent fasting works. This is the basic food pyramid which I'm showing in the slide. So it's basically water, a lot of fruit, the vegetables, and also a lot of non-veg. This is on the international platform, like international cuisine.
Yes.
If you go for Indian cuisine, will be this one, pure vegetarian. Yeah. So that's what Mrs. Poonam was asking, and that's what everybody in this group will be like to know this. So it's basically water. Meaning why this is at the bottom of the pyramid, meaning we have to take a lot of water during this fasting time, and we have to eat a lot of green leafy vegetables, fruits, sprouts. I guess we know a lot of sprouts, right? Indians make a lot of sprouts.
Yeah, lentils and sprouts.
Yeah, nuts and seeds. So this is the vegetarian type of for the intermittent fasting, the foods that we must choose during the intermittent fasting. Okay, so this is for the vegetarians.
I have a question here, doctor.
Yeah.
So if I am doing any one of these plans, whether it's 16 by 8 or 12 by 12, what can I eat? Whatever I want. So if I'm eating, even if it is 1800 calories, can I have a pizza for lunch? And can I have something else which covers up 1800 calories? Or do I have to stick to these? See, is it calories or is it the quality of food?
Exactly. That's a very good question. So usually persons like to choose intermittent fasting because of they want to eat anything but under this 1800. So you can eat anything as much as it fits in the 1800 kilocalories.
So even if I'm not eating vegetables or fruits, I'm having a pizza for lunch, maybe 3-4 slices of pizza, and for dinner I'm having a small fried chicken. As long as both of them is in 1800, is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. That gives a lot of leverage to a lot of people who must be thinking, oh my God, I'm on a diet. But here you're not really on a diet no. Because you're eating everything.
That's why it is not a beginner. It's a bit from beginner who wants to step into the serious fasting. Serious fasting will be doing this, our type, the Indian vegetarian diet.
Okay. Okay.
But
So there's a question from Rita who says that instead of green leafy vegetables, can I have green juice?
Sure.
Okay.
In my view, as a detox yoga specialist, according to my book, say in the bottom of the pyramid, you take a lot of water, pure water. Okay. The vegetables you don't take as vegetables, but you take in the form of juices.
Juices or soups?
No, that's what I'm coming.
Oh.
It must be raw juices, raw fruit juices, basically raw vegetable juice or raw fruit juice. If you're serious into it, meaning like, see, we are talk about the beginner version who would like to have this pizzas and all the fancy diet, but they still want to do some diet, meaning this is the beginner version. Now we are into the serious business. So for this person, water, after that raw fruit juice, raw vegetable juice, raw, fresh,
so there's another
raw,
question,
organic.
Somebody is asking to counter this is, don't fruit juices have a lot of sugar?
Yes.
And somebody else already mentioned that I thought we ought not to drink our calories, but eat our calories.
Exactly. Good question.
So how do you answer that?
So if it is, say, for fruit juices that have sugar, yes, it has sugar, natural sugar, fructose. It is natural
So
sugar.
this is also during those eating hour window. It's not the juice that you're having. Yeah. So it's only in the eating hour window.
Yes.
Okay.
It is having a lot of fructose in it. It is very, 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 very good, easily digestible, easily readily available source of energy, and it easily gets converted into the energy, the active energy. So our body will be healthier. If we eat the long stacking source of energies, the high speed in between, like the pancakes, which are we see as in the beginner's version, now that's where the person gets stuck and they don't lose any weight.
And what about the green, leafy green vegetable juice? Can that be done in the fasting time? Because there is no sugar there.
Exactly. No. We cannot. Not during the fasting time, cannot.
Okay. So the leafy green vegetable, like you're adding spinach, kale, cucumber, just veggies to a pure glass of juice, but that is not counted as fasting.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Only during the fasting window, what we can do is water or 0 calorie, the black coffee or the green tea.
How about coconut water?
No.
Oh, just checking.
No.
All right. So there's one more question. Should it be like a juice or a smoothie when you're having in your eating window?
Better, because if it is a first meal, you have it as a smoothie.
As a smoothie. Oh.
If it is on the second largest meal, or if it is in between the snacks, you can have it as a clear juice.
Okay. And just coming back to coconut water, why not coconut water in the fasting time?
You drink the coconut water, it has some calories.
Sugar.
Some sugar.
Fructose.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is sweet. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Even if it's natural, but it has some sugar.
Yes. Even same with the honey, same with the all citrus fruits, everything, right?
So it's okay to have a black tea or a black coffee with a little lemon juice or a little bit of mint in it. That's okay.
As far as we are maintaining it as a 0 calories, it's okay. But that's why I will keep on mentioning again and again. Keep it 0 calorie. Stick with water a lot, or green
That's
tea.
safe. Actually, then you already know what you, because I think what happens with all the questions that I'm also going through, when we are doing the fasting window, we don't know what is 0 calorie, what is 1 calorie besides water. Water is 0 calories, we all know.
Yeah, exactly.
But if we're adding this and then this and then this, we don't know. Just like coconut water, because sometimes one also hears that less than 50 calories is okay in fasting window, but you recommend 0 calories.
0 calories.
Okay, all right. So that means stick to water or stick to something which really has nothing. I mean, black tea, black coffee, green tea with no sugar and nothing at all.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, all right, great, sounds good. And so how can I do intermittent fasting is something you answered really, really well. And is there anything else you would like to add? Because I want to bring in another person here to have a different viewpoint.
Sure, sure, sure. Always there is different persons have different views, right?
No, because that's, you're doing a naturopathy, and it's great, and it's a great window for everybody to know that he's right, available in Jakarta. Whoever wants to contact him, please go ahead and do that. He's been there 14 years. Things have really worked very well for a lot of people. And there are many ways of doing intermittent, much unlike that most of us thought 12 by 12 or 24 and this 16 by 8. There are even further ways of doing this. However, we also have a lady called Shilpa Dhoka right there, who is Ayurveda doctor, and probably you've also heard of her. And I would like to also hear her opinion on this.
Sure, 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 sure.
Great. Shilpa,
So,
can we have you here? Are you here?
Sharing, please.
Hi, Jyoti. Hi, Poonam.
Thank you.
Hi, Shilpa.
Hello, Dr. Purushottam.
Hi, Dr. Shilpa.
Nice seeing you all here. Thank you very much too.
Sorry, Shilpa. Dr. Puru, can you stop screen sharing, please? Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so it was nice to hear from Dr. Puru, and a lot of good information, and I'm sure everybody has got a better clarity now to what is intermittent fasting, because as Jyoti said, that there was a lot of confusion what to eat and what not to eat.
Yes.
So that's really good. I can suggest is, when Jyoti said that there's a confusion, what is zero calorie, we are not sure. So I would suggest make a list of 0 calorie food.
Yes.
And then when you want it, you can just pick it up, so that and you can keep it ready in your cupboards. Otherwise, you start looking for it and then you don't know what to do, and then you land up like that is demotivating. So the best is.
Is there any 0 calorie besides water?
Yes, there's ice.
Good one.
No, so
like a 5-year-old Puru.
So there are green vegetables.
Okay, so yeah, you're
there's a
absolutely
vegetable
right.
juice. There are vegetable juices that you can take. There are a lot of vegetables which there are 0 calorie food. It's not like there is nothing. There is.
So if I may ask you, somebody had earlier asked this question about vegetable juice. So what kind of vegetable juice would you say is actually 0 calorie?
What kind of vegetables? So when it is having leafy vegetables, I take it in like the leafy vegetables, not having carrots, not having beetroots in it.
Correct. So if I'm putting spinach and I'm putting kale, and I'm putting a cucumber and a lemon, and maybe one amla,
I would take it as a 0 calorie.
Okay.
What does Dr. Puru have to say to that?
For me, I'll stick with water. Plain water is enough.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Any questions?
So according to me, when you're fasting. Sorry. So according to me, when you're fasting, when you're really fasting, 16 hours fasting, that should be pure water. But this is during the 8 hours of fasting. You can even that time look for things which are 0 calorie. So it will be filling, but you'll get better results.
Oh, okay. I think that's a very good distinction.
And one more thing I want to add is, see, it is very, very common. People look at intermittent fasting and they want to try it for whatever reasons to fit into their dresses or whatever. But remember, intermittent fasting is something which should be started, a doctor's consultation is very important before you start it. Because if it is a normal person, healthy person, it's fine. But sometimes it triggers a lot of other problems. For simple example is acidity, anxiety. So just be careful about that.
Yes. Absolutely.
You have to be mindful about that.
Totally agree. You could be diabetic, you could have a BP issue, you could have other stomach issues. So it's always done under a guidance. I completely vouch that, and I would even recommend others to do that. Thank you so much. That was really nice for you to join us. Dr. Purushottam, Rita had a question right in the beginning. Can we bring Rita in back here, Poonam?
Hi, Rita.
She's tried everything.
Hi, how are you?
Please, can you switch on your video as well?
Yes, I'm
Hi.
here.
We come back to your question, which is a question which is faced by a lot of our viewers, that, you know, we've done 16-hour, we've done 20-hour, we've done 12 by 12, tried everything, but your weight doesn't move. Am I right on that question?
Yes, you know, doctor, I was in Singapore and my I was having reflux problem for the first time in my life. So I just asked him, can I go on an intermittent diet? He said, yes, maximum 16 hours. So under his guidance, I went into a intermittent diet of 16 hours. But believe me, I did not lose any weight. I was the same. In fact, I thought I was getting heavier. Then I went to 20 hours diet for 1 year, the whole pandemic period for 1 full year. In fact, I felt the last few weeks, I started feeling bloatedness. So what I'm doing now at the moment, since the last 2 weeks, I have started on a clean diet. Meaning I take, in the morning, I take like oats with almond milk. Then at 1 o'clock, I will take 4 tablespoons of rice with any tumisan. And then in the afternoon, I take decaf coffee because I'm very addicted with coffee and I was so scared to take coffee anymore. So I take decaf coffee with this fiber cream milk. And then at 6 o'clock, I take my dinner, that also either 1 chapati with a sabji, or I take 4 tablespoons of rice with a vegetable. That's it. Then from 6 to 9 in the morning, I take nothing absolutely except water.
But is it working for you
now?
now?
No, it is still not working. Absolutely not. 2 weeks now, I haven't lost even 0.5 kilo.
So Dr. Purushottam, how do you address an issue like this?
Yeah.
And Rita, it's not.
Sorry, can I interrupt? I do yoga and I walk every single day for an hour.
But I must also say this is an issue with a lot of people, that they've tried intermittent 16-hour, 12-hour, 20 and been disappointed. There've been no results whatsoever. How do you address that?
Yeah. Okay. So what happens is we have to understand our body is made of 5 elements. Basically, it's Panchamahabhutas. So
Yes.
she's feeling bloated. She's having the problem with the digestive system, which is GERD. Yeah. She's having reflux disorder. That's why her doctor has suggested to do intermittent fasting. So the 16 hours, they want to make this digestive system work more better, because we give a break for the digestive system to work more better. But what happens is one of the element in her, which is the earth element has become heavier. The organ for the earth element is spleen, according to acupuncture. The spleen and stomach is the organ that is not allowing, even if you put a small drop to that to this sponge, it absorbs and becomes heavier. That's why she is feeling more heavier. So no matter whatever the diet she is doing it, whatever the exercise she is doing, it is not working, because even if you put one small drop to this particular type of persons, it will bulge out and they will get bloated, they will feel heavier, and then the result is going on. Like the system that is particularly related with this earth element is getting heavier. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to balance that vitiation. Like in Ayurveda, I guess Dr. Shilpa will know that Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So the Kapha vitiation is there. So we have to balance this Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and then only we can get into this the result. Without balancing the 3 doshas or the 5 elements, because 3 dosha and 5 element imbalances causes the disease basically. So in our case, Mrs. Rita, no matter whatever the diet she is doing, no matter whatever the exercise, how hard, even 20 hours, 22 hours, is not going to work. Of course, because of the imbalance in the 3 dosha or the 5 elements. So we have to balance that by the acupuncture mode of treatments, because for her, she's going towards that. And also we have to, after balancing that, our system will, even after 1 week or 2 weeks, she can find the result. It naturally, the shift starts from there.
Shilpa, if I may ask you, is that the same thing you would like to say, or you want to add something to that? We can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. So what I would say is, I think Rita needs to get a lot of other, like there should be a test done. Yeah, there are a lot of other issues. Intermittent fasting, a standard intermittent fasting is, if it's not giving results, then there are some other issues which should be, what Dr. Puru said is right, has to be found, because without that, she will not get results. In fact, with all what she's doing, she's creating more issues inside.
Yes.
That's why I said that, people read online and they go into intermittent fasting, but then they land up into more problems. Intermittent fasting is only possible if you are 100% healthy.
Yes.
I think that's a very valid point, Shilpa and Dr. Puru. This thing about knowing yourself before going into any regime like this. And intermittent fasting is not a cure-all. It is not, one size fits all. It needs to be, like Dr. Puru and Shilpa already started from the beginning, that always do it under a doctor's guidance. And Rita, you mentioned that you have started it with the doctor's guidance, but maybe not all elements of your of your physical body and the way you react to the intermittent fasting has been studied properly by your doctor. Maybe you need to do that as well. Means this is what I have gathered from this session.
Correct. Well,
and in fact, I was speaking to Geeta earlier when Geeta did this session on intermittent fasting with us. She said, some people are doing intermittent fasting and they're not losing any weight. In fact, the very opposite. So intermittent fasting is not, and correct me, Dr. Puru, if I'm wrong, but I have been told that intermittent fasting is not primarily to lose weight, but it is more as a way to increase the health of your body, to increase your digestive system, to actually balance the various parts of your body. So
exactly. That's why I say we give the window period, so that we are giving a rest to our digestive system. Fasting is basically a rest to our digestive system, and the rest is happening by its own.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have to all accept the fact that intermittent fasting works only when done correctly under guidance.
Yes.
It's not a fad or a fashion which we've turned it out to be. Google is not the answer for everything. Google cannot replace a naturopath and an Ayurvedic doctor or, an expert.
Yes.
They are there to help us, and we need to seek guidance if we really are focused on it. Just hearsay, just reading is not going to work. That's the right way to do it, to speak to the correct person. If you want to do it through naturopathy, through Ayurveda, or through a proper dietitian, but you need to go under guidance. That's one key thing. Secondly, whatever you're doing, please listen to your body. Your body speaks to you. A lot of times we ignore. So if we are doing intermittent fasting, it is not showing results. It's showing stubbornness. Please listen to it and go to your physician and speak to them. Just don't let it be. Don't go on till the problem goes to a certain stage, like, people will have acidity issues, people will have migraine issues. Don't let it go that far. So please go seek your guidance from the right sources. Poonam can only bring people here. After that, we need to go and meet them and talk to them if we want to go forward. Am I correct, Dr. Purushothaman and Shilpa?
Yes, exactly right.
Absolutely. So one last question I'm going to bring for you, Dr. Purushottam. Somebody is asking, is Kada okay? No sugar, no honey, haldi, ginger, pepper, and cinnamon. Would you count that as 0 calorie, or even that is not 0 calorie?
No sugar.
No sugar, haldi, ginger, pepper, and cinnamon. Basically, this is what everybody is doing during this pandemic.
Chinchaila. You know, Chinchaila meaning is Akela.
Okay, so he's happy with that Kada Nupur. So please go ahead and enjoy that.
I want to just say, sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
The Kada is okay as 0 calorie, but the Kada will increase the acidity. So when there will be an imbalance, I am treating so many people because of this COVID Kada. The acidity and its side effects, people have reached to ulcers also. So be careful. Not like it said yes, so we continue drinking. It is 0 calorie, but it is not empty stomach. It is not advisable. Remember that.
We have to analyze the person.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, because honestly, as she's written, a lot of us would say, oh yeah, it's okay, let's go and make it. You know, you want something hot and nice to have first thing in the morning. You don't want to do a coffee, you don't want to do a tea, and pandemic has forced everybody towards all immunity boosters, all right. But it's good to know that it can add to acidity. So that's the reason why I urge everybody, please seek proper consultation from the right sources. Do not just rely on Google and hearsay. Don't mess up your system. It's not worth it. Go to the right sources. And Dr. Purushottam and Shilpa is right there in Jakarta. And we also have Dr. Geeta there. So a lot of very intelligent people and experienced people, please go and seek consultation. Thank you so much, Dr. Purushottam, for joining us. I'm glad we met you. Never late, better late than never, Poonam. And Shilpa has been with us for a long, long time. So thank you so much for joining on this show. Any questions going beyond this, you can please post it on the link where this is going to be posted on the Facebook, and they'll be picked up and answered. And thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you, Dr. Purushottam. That was a very nice session. And I would just like to underline what Jyoti said. Whatever you need to do, please do with the right guidance. Yeah. And the Google doesn't know you personally, doesn't know your physical health properly. You need to meet a proper doctor or a proper guide who can customize the program for you. Thank you, everyone. Do send us your feedbacks, your suggestions, and any other comments that you might have. Just send us an email. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Poonam. Thank you, Mrs. Jyoti. Thanks for Shilpa. Thank you, Dr. Shilpa, for sharing your thoughts about this. Thank you, Mrs. Rita, for asking the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Puru. Nice meeting you.
Nice.
Thank you. It was very insightful, doctor. Thank you so much. I think one day I'll come and see you.
Sure, almost.
Thank you very much.
Poonam.
Bye.
Everybody stay safe.